Okay, they're having some sort of drinking contest, I assume.
They are, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not really interested in it, but still I decide to watch.
Okay.
I get up, with my mug, of course, half filled. I walk over to them. I pushed some of the common folks to the side, get right next up to the table. Drinking game. Can I join? I slam down my mug.
Okay. The guy in the somewhat more clean attire extends his huge hand. This guy has got these, well, they both have these large hands and thick arms like tree trunks. The name's Kurt. I'm the local woodworker, and this is my friend here, the local smith, Oscar.
I'm not local. My name is Elvis, and I drink you under the table.
Ha! I'd like to see that.
Wait,
Move along, Oscar. You lost this one. Oh, I didn't lose anything. And Oscar stumbles off and trips over a small stool, curses, and extinguishes one of the candles that is on one of the tables by falling over it. Oh, damn it! It always happens. He looks around. Can anyone relight this? And he just leaves the candle on the table, looking a little bit, flattened.
Wait. Can I do that, by the way? Can I lighten? I can do that, right?
Already
Anyone
done.
could if you. There's a certain
Never
fire
mind.
priestess who has just moved to the table and lights the candle with a single gesture. Wow, I wish I could you. Could you do that to my forge? That would be wonderful.
What's wrong with your forge?
Nothing, but it would be so much easier than using tinder. Can I show you my forge sometime? It's beautiful.
oh wow.
But maybe you're not praying
Yeah,
to the right god. It's
Sorry.
trouble lighting your
Not
forge.
playing to the right god. I always pray to the god of smithing. You know, the gods of creation. I pick one and I just go, hey, I want to make this today.
But where does it come from? It comes from fire.
Of course, that's it. I've been doing it wrong all these years. Thanks. Okay, so Kurt takes up a mug and gestures to the dwarf to sit down. All right, let's do this.
Alright.
I hope you've been, preparing for this, because it's strong stuff that they make here.
I've been born prepared for this.
Okay. And as you down the third or fourth mug in this contest, you start to feel a little bit dizzy. Strong stuff, dwarf. Can you handle it?
Yes, the room stops spinning, I will tell ya.
The room's spinning with you. I'm not even in the room anymore. You're having a fantastic time. And people start playing music, and there's people just completely hammered, and it's all wonderful. And then Glor comes up to the table. Master Dwarf,
Aye?
I would like to invite you to the next event.
After I beat this sucker.
No, that's this. You're going to like this. It's an awesome event. It's the reason we asked you to come. And I'm sorry, Kurt, to sort of.
Let's
with your
call
game.
this a draw.
Yeah, we'll call this a draw. And Kurt slides off his stool, half conscious, drooling on the floor. Glor says, trying to outdrink dwarves again, are we? Well, you're gonna like this, dwarf. Come on, people, it's time for the drinking fight. The drinking. I named it differently, but
Beer
hold
brawl.
on. The beer brawl, that was it. Time for the beer brawl. and people are cordially invited to leave through the back entrance of the tavern, and behind the tavern, in a sort of open space in between the tavern and the woods, basically, there's a sort of circle made from barrels, and the barrels represent sort of the outside of the circle, and in the circle are it's a pretty wide circle, are a couple of sets of shields and clubs. All right.
Do they have torches, or can you see the bonfire?
No, it's the bonfire lights. Well, it lights sort of the way to this location, but you can barely make out anything unless people bring torches, which they do. And they're sort of there are standards where you can put your torches, so it's a nice lit arena.
For some reason, I think that with a fire cleric and a wizard, we do have an abundance of fire here, if needed.
All right. Valor goes. He's clearly the master of ceremonies. Please receive the harvest's blessing. You're asked to drink a cup of mead before entering the arena, and your opponent, a local farmer that looks, well, like he's had enough already, also gets this drink, and you both have to down a mug of very strong mead.
No problem.
And then you led into the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the beer brawl. The rules are simple. We fight until one goes down. If a shield breaks, a round ends. There are 3 shields per player, and you must drink a shot of mead when your shield breaks. The last man to remain standing after 3 shields have broken on either side wins. If all shields are expanded and both stand, it's sudden death. May the best man win.
Let me guess, this game was invented by the local shield creator.
Might be the woodworker that invested in some shields, because these are wooden shields. They're not exactly what you call wonderful workmanship, but they suffice.
Well, I'd say Kurt has a knack for.
Neither are the clubs. I mean, honestly. All right, so I guess we're going to have a little bit of a combat test here.
All right.
Just out of character, guys. We're gonna test the combat system, which I've never actually used before. The only one here who has actually played the game thus far is Lab. So I've played other versions of D&D. I am looking for my.
By the way,
leopard.
I was going to say
correct to
leopard.
this one, by the way. There was a tabletop player in my stream at the very beginning, and he said like that we also can have something like called how is it called?
Roll
Roll20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna do that next time, but because of the ad hoc nature of this stream, I had to sort of improvise.
We had enough time to do everything right.
Well, next time we will do everything right.
Okay.
I hope so.
I've browsed through the thing, and a nuclear strike isn't one of the spells.
There we go. Now you know. Okay. Alright, so let me get my book out. This is dwarf versus dwarf, by the way.
Aye.
Ooh,
Should be
interesting.
So you're both a little slammed, but I guess you'll be okay.
Never stopped me before.
If I may give a suggestion,
Yeah.
in D&D 5th edition, you
Yes.
have advantage and disadvantage.
I know.
It could be fun to have after each time the opponent drinks something,
Yeah, I know.
That the loser gets disadvantage, or they have to roll a Constitution throw and something like that.
That's something I already figured would be cool. All right, but let's start with who gets the first initiative in this combat. Basically, who goes first? Who gets to slam the other one first? You get a club that does a d6 of damage, just so you know. Roll a 10-sided die, I believe. Is it still the same?
For initiatives, just a
Or is that-
d20 again.
Oh, d20. Okay. I have to check what I roll. got it.
Natural
Epic
one.
one.
Okay, you're a little slow today,
Yeah.
Elvis.
Okay.
As you circle your opponent, this dwarf looks like he's already had a few too many. He's got this rowdy black beard into 2 braids that's filled with froth from all the drinking he's been doing, and his eyes are like shot red with veins, and he's sort of shaking in his little boots already. However, he decides to strike at you. I'll get your shield, don't worry. And he rolls. What does he roll? Can I see? An 8?
An 8.
Okay.
Just
See?
mouse over it.
I know, I should. I'm a dumbass.
Yes, you are.
Mhm.
Yes.
Very much so. Good. Okay. He hits armor class 12, which is probably not enough. In fact, he doesn't hit at all. He misses you
Aw.
completely. You
I
sort of
sidestep and he
you
hits
you
him up.
sidestep with some ease, and he stumbles sort of next to you, and like, that wasn't what's supposed to happen. And you get to have at him.
I counter with a swing. I threw it too. I guess I'm pretty drunk too.
I suppose. And you also miss him, and people are cheering for you both.
I look at
This is
some.
fantastic.
I look at the guy next to me and I say, I don't think this is the way the game is supposed to go, right?
It's a beer roll.
We're just stumbling about.
I'll get you yet, dwarf.
If it goes,
What are you, mountain dwarf?
this will never end. They need to hit each other.
And I hit a 16. Okay,
What?
that's definitely a hit. And your first shield breaks as he slams into it with his little club. And you've got 3 points of temporary damage. Just write that down somewhere. It really hurt your arm there. So you're 1 shield down out of 3. And people cheer, yay!
Bloody bastard.
And I down another pint of mead.
Okay. You now have a disadvantage on the next roll you're going to make, which basically means you have to roll 2 d20s to attack and pick the lowest score.
All right. Do we also
We do a new initiative.
initiative?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do, because this is a new round.
Can you give me another
This is
D20
not-
then?
Ow! Did I pick yours?
Can you copy this one and paste
Of course I can. Copy. Control V.
it? Thank
There.
you. Alright,
Right.
initiative, right?
I'll roll initiative as well. This is not regular. Usually you go with the same initiative for a whole combat, but this is because we're playing sort of a sportsman's match. Initiative 12 plus
16.
loads, I think. Yeah. Okay.
That's
I got 14 in total, so I guess you win that one. You are slightly better. And now you have to roll both of these and see what's the lowest one. Maybe you hit with both of them. Who knows? 19.
17.
And 17. Yeah, you definitely hit this guy square in the face. You don't even... I mean, he drops his shield and then it breaks. Ah! How much damage do you do? Roll a d6. 3 damage. Okay. Couple of teeth go flying. Ah!
I am just getting warmed up.
He's bleeding.
Yeah, it's only dwarven blood.
It's only dwarf. You'll be fine. And he decides to retaliate. Well, no, he doesn't, because he has to drink.
Right.
And he picks up a shield and
Drink up, boy.
drinks his mead as a good dwarf. I'll get you next time, he says while he's bleeding from his mouth. And you have to roll another initiative to see who goes first in the next round. 14, 16.
19.
Damn it, you're quicker. Alright, wreck him.
Oh, 7.
Oh, you miss.
Aye.
Unfortunately, this guy also has to copy his die, by the way. Copy. Control-V. There we are. So, he's gonna strike at you now. I'll get you! And he rolls a natural 20 and natural 11. The 11 is gonna be a 13, am I right? Yes. A 13. Does that do anything? I don't know. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 18.
Well, he totally misses then. Damn it. Alright. So the fight continues with you. Nobody hits, so basically you're still circling each other.
Aye.
And the
Second
shields are still up. Alright.
8.
Okay. Well, you missed this guy again. But you're wearing full armor during this?
Apparently, you asked for my armor class and you didn't say I wasn't wearing anything else.
Oh, damn it. Well, this guy swings at you again and misses. We're gonna have a little bit of a problem then.
9.
Okay. Well, if this doesn't hit,
We both got the drink. It doesn't hit.
you keep circling each other. Let's go for one more swing.
Aye.
Three.
3.
And 15. Okay. You circle each other and people cheer. It's sort of a tie right now. That's a 16.
That's a critical
A
miss.
1! A critical miss. Actually, this guy slips and trips over his shield and it breaks.
Aye. Drink.
Alright, there we
Wait,
go.
Can I ask, just because we're testing the combat system,
Mhm.
how long do you get disadvantage?
In this case, they're drunk.
Yeah, I can understand, but in other situations,
As long as the condition is set, the disadvantage stays. If you can lift the condition somehow, the disadvantage disappears. If you can somehow gain an advantage over your opponent, then the other thing happens, basically. Until you use that advantage, it's there, and then when you've used it, it's gone. But in this case, it's going to handicap these guys for a little while longer. This guy now has to drink. And he takes a few sips, stands up, and then immediately tips over, breaking the last shield. And Glor goes, "We have a winner!
Amateur.
From the red corner, the dwarf that came from elsewhere, Elvis!" And everyone cheers. And you are awarded a bottle of the mead that you just so bravely consumed.
Alright, I open the bottle and start drinking.
It tastes even better now.
A sweet taste of victory.
Alright. There we go. Okay. People start returning to the tavern. And bards are now playing music there. And the furnace is stoked once more for the local food to go with the drink. Alright. I want to know what each of your characters is going to do. Are you going to back into the tavern? Or are you going to stay outside? I need to know where you are.
At this point in time, I'm so drunk, I'm not sure where I am.
think I'm going back in and I'll sit next to the.
To
And
the
I-
It probably has a fire, right?
yeah, there's a big fireplace here.
And outside there's just nothing?
Oh, there's people cheering and partying, and the stalls are still sort of well, they're not manned, but they're still being sort of scrounged for leftovers by certain people who are very, very drunk.
Okay, I guess I'm done with work right now, so...
Yes, you've tasted pretty much everything here, and you've concluded that especially the beer of the local brew has improved over previous years.
Okay. They didn't use water from the sewers this time?
They probably did not use water from the well this year.
Ah, good.
Alright, so Helixia, your character is still sort of wandering around outside?
Yes.
Okay. Then you're the first one that's going to notice this, and perhaps the gnome as well.
Okay.
But you're sort of you're wandering into the square where you indeed see people sort of drinking at the local stalls and laying down on the ground, not being able to get up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
As you notice a man who also stumbles, but he's stumbling sort of into the town square from the direction of what was the blazing heap of the bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like one of the priests that took care of the children, taking them to the barn
Mm-hmm.
on the other side of town. And by the looks of his movement, he's also very, very drunk. And he collapses in front of the tavern. Something about this doesn't quite feel right.
Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do about it? Yeah, I decide to picking him up and to start to lay him at a bed and then wait until he comes to the world again.
Okay, well, as you approach him, you
Yeah.
notice something sticking out of his shoulder,
Ooh.
the back of his shoulder. And something is making his beautiful gray-white vestments go somewhat red.
Oh. And then I suddenly noticed that indeed he's not only drunk but also wounded. And
I stumble by and point at him. Yeah, that's blood! And pass out.
It is blood. Some of the local villagers start screaming "murder, murder" around you. And they're looking at you. And as you try to take it all in, what's happening, you hear the man murmur something as he lays there.
So, technically it isn't murder since he's still alive.
Well, he's dying, and he's trying to say something.
And I try to hear him, but because of all the shouting around
Pretty
me,
difficult.
I
Yeah.
can't hear it. So,
Okay, could you roll a 20-sided die for me?
what's the 31 of May?
That's
That
That-
one.
it's let's see, 8. Yeah, that one definitely.
Okay.
Tell me what you rolled, and then
Yeah.
add your roll
And
it.
then I need to say what I want to do for before
No,
or
no,
after.
No, this is a check that I'm gonna not force, but this is something you're going to do. You're going to see if you can make out what he's saying
Ah, okay.
through all the noise around you.
Oh, I think not.
What is your perception score? I'd have to check on your. Hold on, I know.
You know?
I have it over here as well.
Well,
Her perception is +3.
+3.
Oh,
Okay.
Wait, no, that was my own. Whoops.
Close.
Very perceptive.
Very perceptive for an old man.
Where is that?
It's a skill. I'll check. Hold on, I can find it.
Oh.
On your proficiencies, it should be.
It's +5 even.
It's plus
Ooh.
5.
I thought it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely. You've got a good perception skill, so your ears are very keen, and you can make out through the shouting around you that he's saying, "The children, the children."
Ooh. As I hear his voice that he is talking about the children and he is wounded, I decide to run to the barn and to check out what is happening there.
Okay.
And trying, of course, trying to make my way through the crowd who is still
Okay.
accusing me from murderer.
Well, they're not sure who to accuse at this moment. They're just in a sheer panic. The other characters.
Do we hear
Yeah,
anything?
definitely. That was what I was about to say. The other characters now notice that there's a bit of a thing going on in the square, with people shouting at each other, and you make out the words "murder, murder."
Get up and see what all the fuss is about.
Okay. I know I wouldn't read the chat in between, but now is a nice time to do so for a second. Okay. There's one comment here that says, "The children are goblins!" No, they're not.
Well, they tend to be, but
Alright.
okay. But if you're going to run, very good sound effects you have this time.
Is this with us or with
No,
Jay?
it's not with us.
It's Lord Hudson then.
Okay, so
Okay.
or was it a cat?
Could be a cat. I don't know. It could actually be a cat.
Okay. Anyway,
Not mine.
Helixia, as your character is running away, are you going to warn us about the children?
As in my impulsiveness, with seeing a man almost being dead and that kind of stuff, I just cannot think clearly, and I just run as.
This is an instinctive move.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, wow.
Well, you guys just notice just a glimpse of the elf disappearing behind the still simmering pile that was once the bonfire.
What do I see of the priest?
Well, the priest actually sees only a couple of people running towards the barn.
No, I'm not.
Or one or two.
I'm not. Yeah, oh no, the other priest.
Oh, the other
Dying
priest?
priest.
Oh, the dying priest. He's just lying there bleeding.
Okay,
He's not moving.
I sit next to it. See
Okay.
if I can help him.
Okay. Yeah, you kneel beside him and you conclude fairly quickly that he is passed away, unfortunately.
He's dead.
Aw.
He is quite dead. Yeah.
He seized the bucket, or he sniffed the bucket. He ceased to be.
He kicked the bucket, yes.
Yeah,
He
something like
sniffed
that.
the bucket.
He sniffed the bucket.
you're so
This
sick.
bucket is awesome!
This stinks, I tell ya.
Yes. Anyway,
And can I see of what he died? Yeah, of a wound, obviously, but what kind of wound?
Well, you see a
there's
crude
an
arrow
arrow.
sticking out of his back.
I'm sorry, an arrow?
An arrow, yes, sticking out of his shoulder where his artery is. So he bled out, basically. It's just it's almost in his neck. I don't know if there's an artery there. You're the
No,
doctor.
I was doubting whether I should correct you, but anyway. It's just
it hit an artery somewhere
yeah,
and it
it's
bled
just
out.
a normal looking arrow.
It looks a little crude. It doesn't look elvish. It doesn't look like it would. Well, it could have been made by humans, but definitely not an elven arrow. It's not exactly as far as you know arrows. It's not exactly a commonly used arrow. It's more a poor man's arrow. Not even a hunter would use this.
Well, even
Yeah.
though he's from another religion, I pray that he may find sheltering Kossuth's holy fire.
Okay. Very good. Meanwhile, the people with dark vision that are outside and not passed out, which concluding would be the gnome,
Yeah.
I guess. You see just a glimpse of the elf disappearing, running behind the what's left of the bonfire pile, and she disappears into the darkness towards what is probably the barn in this village. Good grief! What's going on?
I
Hey.
probably think that she is the murderer, so I draw my rapier and start running after her.
Oh shit!
At this time, I start waking up, and I'm wondering what the hell did I miss?
Well, apparently there's a bit of a situation outside. People are shouting in a panic, and as you ask what is going on, you get a very distraught villager saying, "Somebody was murdered!"
Oh, it's a good party then!
Did you see who did it?
No, I didn't. I don't think so. No, nobody saw who did it. Okay, Helixia, your character comes to the barn,
Mhm.
and the barn is wide open,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's pretty much empty. Kids are gone, priests are gone. There's nothing here anymore.
Mhm.
It's like it's been cleaned out.
Hmm.
You can make another perception check if you wish.
Okay, this
Yeah.
is bad. The children are free. Everyone run for their lives.
Yeah, I want to check that out if they just fled or they are kidnapped.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah, of course. Take a 20-sided die and roll another perception check.
Hi.
That's not high.
Come on!
Well, you're not a specialist in this area, and you
Shit.
conclude that people that were in here are no longer here, but you have no idea what happened. And as you stand there, people start gathering behind you, pitchforks and torches in hand,
Probably
shit.
me first, since I was the first.
and
one
a
after
small
her.
gnome with a rapier.
Okay, why did you murder that priest? Let me try that again. Okay, why did you murder that priest?
Whoa, that's a strong accusation.
I didn't do anything.
Then why
I-
did you run away from a crime scene?
I heard the priest telling something about the children, and I decided to look at the barn.
One of the villagers says to the gnome, I think she's right. I think he was trying to tell us something. Before
Well,
he died. She might actually be right.
I glance at the barn and, well, notice it is wide open.
Well, there is no murder weapon on Helixia's character at the moment, so her bow is with her pack, and she's not carrying that around constantly. So she technically has no weapon in hand. There's no smoking gun.
No, because if it was a smoking gun, the guy would
Smoking bun?
arrow.
A smoking bun.
Smoking bun? Huh.
Yeah. Okay, you can make a perception check too, Lab.
I guess.
I have
At this point in time, we've noticed something's going on at the barn.
Yes, there's people speeding there, and you
So I'll
also
follow.
have the option to
I
go
get
there.
up, I think there is another drinking contest going on.
That's 14.
14?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it takes a little while, but as you look around and take it all in, the whole scene, you notice that there's little footprints in the dust of the barn that look a little bit weird. They don't look like shoes, and they don't look like human or humanoid feet. and you just stare at them.
And
Wondering.
I pointed out. I
I'm
see
going, I'm
the.
going to follow them.
Well, actually, you don't see them. You haven't noticed them. But
okay.
as you see the gnome looking around, then you notice that there is something strange with the floor going
Yeah.
on.
So
Everyone to me!
What's happening here?
Okay, the
There are
priestess
footsteps.
arrived.
Can I use in my investigation?
There was a murder, and we think the elf did it, but then she couldn't have done it. Well,
Oh,
we're
we
not
have-
sure.
We have investigation as a skill?
I
Okay.
think.
Yeah,
Or.
I'm going to roll it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the skill as well.
Whoa ho ho! 20!
Seriously? Damn.
And
Well, as the gnome starts walking around the bar very carefully and around the elf,
24.
he quickly concludes. You don't have to tell me the outcome. He quickly concludes that the elf was probably not the person shooting the priest, as she was with you all this time. How could she have done that? In the
I
5
had a
minutes
big
that she was
pile of-
outside.
I had a big pile of kegs to clean up.
Yeah, okay. The alcohol might have clouded all of your judgment a little bit, but you soon conclude that it couldn't have been the elf, and the shot must have come from something else, because the footprints are from a different creature altogether, one that is not currently in your company. It looks a little like little lizard feet.
Ooh.
Okay.
Do you tell us this?
Yeah, you should tell us, Slap. Elvis.
Elvin. This is
Elvin,
very
sorry.
confusing with
Wait,
all the names
We
of
have
elf
an elfin and an elvis, right?
and an Eluna.
Just on as a note on that, I just renamed my character since.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because Elvis and Elvin would be a bit too close together, so
Yeah.
hence he's now known as Kellen.
Kellen, very good.
Kellen, okay.
Okay.
Kellen.
Okay. Anyway. So okay, out of character, I probably know these are kobolds, but
Yes, well, as a gnome, you will probably also come to that conclusion
okay.
at some point.
In that case, I'm going to. I'm going to explain that I think kobolds attacked the barn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just to save you some time to explain it again, at this time I do stumble in and realize it's not another drinking contest, and I hear him talking.
Okay, what's next?
All right. Oh no, our children! They've been taken by kobolds. What must we do? There's tracks leading out of the barn,
Mm-hmm.
and well, that's really the only lead you have right now.
And did I notice them that I followed my instinct?
Which
curiosity?
Curiosity.
Curiosity.
Mhm.
Yes, that.
I'm sorry, but son.
Which way are the tracks?
Well, they lead away from the barn, obviously, but you would have to really look for them outside, because there's been a lot of footprints in town, and
Mhm.
they're more difficult to find. So, if
Does
anyone
this
wants to
still count?
follow these,
Does this still count on my 24?
no.
Okay.
You would either have to go for another investigation check or another perception check,
Done.
and everyone can do that if you want.
Okay.
See if you notice these
Holy
tracks going somewhere.
I see everybody looking at the floor, and I'm just gonna do the same thing.
I think I'm-
Finally, an 11.
19.
19 plus 3, so I'm at 22.
I'm going for investigation. That's mine plus 5, I thought. So it is
Yep.
16.
Okay.
I'm at 23 in total.
Okay, yet again with the super dice.
You spawned them for us.
I did. Okay, well, with a little bit of crowd control, you maneuver yourself into sort of a position where you can follow the tracks without them being erased by people running around in panic. And you track them as a group to the well.
Well,
Yep.
interesting.
Alright, I peer over the edge. Still rather confused about what's going on, but I peer over the well, over the edge of the well.
Okay. You can roll another perception check then, in that case, Lord Hudson. Just you.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Through all the clamoring around you, you hear sounds coming from the well. You're not quite sure what they are, but you hear sounds coming from the well, and that's not water.